¿Qué onda, gente? ¿Cómo andan? Esta vez en un nuevo video. Esta vez con otro nuevo juego también. Llamado The Stanley Parable. The Stanley Parable. O como se diga, disculpen mi inglés. Que es un juego más. Un juego diferente. Un juego como de. No es muy complicado, la verdad. Lo vamos a ir descubriendo a medida que lo juguemos. Y decidí grabarlo en esta parte. Porque no sé si pasa algo después de que ponga sí o no. Así que bueno, comencemos con el gameplay. Y comienza con un ¿jugaste a este juego alguna vez? La respuesta es que no. Nunca lo jugué ni nunca vi nada. Ajusta la barra deslizante hasta que la computadora sea apenas visible. Yo creo que ahí está bien porque por lo que ven el OBS es un poco más oscuro. Aunque yo la veo literalmente HD. Pero bueno, ahí bien. Porque no sé por qué, pero siempre en el OBS se ve medio oscuro. La hora actual, y lo estoy grabando hasta las 10:30. 10. Me estoy llevando justo mi vieja. Bueno, ahí vuelvo. Le pauso un poquito. Ahora sí, empezamos medio mal el video. Como decía, eran las 10:33. Así que vamos a subir esto. 10:33. Sí. Puedes acceder a la configuración. Me recostó. Puedes acceder a la configuración de accesibilidad desde el menú principal. Ok. Bien. Configuración. Primero que nada, vamos a bajar un poquito el sonido. Volumen principal, vamos a ponerlo al 80. Video C. Alta. Esto no sé. Vamos a dejarlo de estado. Sí. Inicia partida. La verdad, no sé si lo han jugado o han visto algo. Yo nunca vi nada, ni jugué.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Un trabajo sencillo,
And
¿no?
then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Bien. Ahora sí. ¿Puedo agarrar algo? No. Bueno, este es un juego donde tenemos un relator, por lo menos lo chusqué un poco. Y él nos va a decir qué hacer. Está en nosotros si hacerle caso o no. Y depende de eso vas a tener diferentes finales y por donde agarres el camino. Así que bueno. Yo creo que voy a intentar conseguir un par de finales, como que sea
All
para
his
subirlo.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Viste, te va diciendo quizás. Esto lo vamos a chusmear un poco. Lo
No
que,
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
lo que no sé es si leer los subtítulos o que hablo en inglés, mira. Uy, le apagué. Disculpa. Bueno. Salimos. La apagué de vuelta. No. No sé si hay un botón para no apagarlo. Güey. Yo toco nada más. Toco hasta que algún momento encuentre algo. Si se puede encontrar algo. Nada. Nada por acá. Uf.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Cruzó la de la izquierda, dice. ¿Y si voy por la derecha? Vamos por la derecha.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Como elijo.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Sí. Epa. ¿Qué este? Fue, él dice que vayamos acá. Pero yo no sé si quiero ir allá. Capaz que quiero ir acá. O sea, me hace esto y me parece más apetecible que esto. Pero bueno, vamos a hacerle caso por primera vez.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No puedo bajar. No, vamos a hacerle caso. Por ahora. Bien.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Nadie.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ok. A la habitación de nuestro jefe, vamos. Subir,
Coming
dijo.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Y podemos bajar si queremos, pero vamos a subir. Por ahora vamos a hacerle caso. Como es el principio. ¿Y esto? I got the feeling money for stealing, but not yours, of course. Ok. No tengo ni puta inglés, no entiendo un carajo. Así que no sé, si lo quieren traducir, ahí lo tienen. Henry got the feeling money for stealing, but not yours, of course. Hola, señor francés. Por acá, nada. Tampoco. Y acá, linda habitación.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Pura casualidad. Para nada me lo dijo el relator. Para nada. El relator nunca dijo nada. ¿O no, Stanley? A ver. El botón decía que bajemos, yo pretendí subir. Aunque está bajando. Le chupó un huevo mi decisión.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
¿Dónde estamos yendo igual, no?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Y acá dice escape. Oh, centro de control de mente. ¿Que me controlen? ¿O escapar? Uf. Que me controlen. Siempre. Siempre controlado, nunca incontrolado.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
A ver. Che, es un lugar enorme. Mira, allí hay una escalera. Capaz que si hubiéramos elegido otro camino podíamos suicidarnos. De chill. Y acá. Me hay un varón. Ah,
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
347 éramos nosotros. 336. Ese de ahí éramos nosotros. Bueno, sigamos. Que hay uno que tiene en home office, literalmente trabajan desde su casa, no soy yo. ¿Esto qué es?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
¿Quién sabe? Subimos.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Están matando las luces rojas, boludo, me dejaron
But here
ciego.
was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Exacto, lo que él dijo. ¿Esta puerta? No, no tiene pinta. Ahora tenemos que seguramente pasar por acá, pero si vamos acá, no pasa nada. Y bueno, hay que explorar a ver si pasa algo, ¿viste? Esa puerta tiene una pinta abierta, pero no se abre. Así que continuemos. Apago el Windows, está bien. Mail control y está guay.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
O sea que off. ¿Qué pasó? Explotamos. Era una bomba nuclear. No. Nos volvimos con mi casa de golpe.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Sí, no, como que no entendí un
Where had
carajo.
his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
¿Y si vuelvo? ¿No? No puedo volver. Como creo que elegí el final más garompa del mundo. Les juro que el juego es más largo y complejo. En la próxima run voy a hacer literalmente lo contrario, ¿no? Le voy a romper las bolas.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation. the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley, boludo, el de los Vengadores, Stanley. Bien, el final más ganado va conseguido. Disculpe, me estaba tomando un matecito. 4.27 éramos nosotros. Volvamos.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bien. Acuérdense, ahora no le hacemos caso, pero ni ahí.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Exacto, tan solo la quería admirar.
Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, te agradezco, maestro, me te la cierro. Y entramos acá.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Sí, no, increíble. Mira. Tremenda fábrica. ¿Qué tiene que ver esto con pulsar los botones, no?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Disculpe, lo tiene que comprobar. Es que, bueno,
All of his
meten dos.
gone. What could it mean?
El suicidio es tentador. No se suicide, por favor. A ver. La derecha, habíamos dicho. Pasamos en su culo. Lo contrario. Vamos a romper las bolas al comentarista. ¿Comentarista?
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ay, $1000 por perder una caja. Dólares, pesos no.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Si no, empezó un poco con el pie izquierdo.
Really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Esa puerta está abierta. ¿Me pueden disculpar? Me voy a intentar suicidar de vuelta.
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Perdón.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Una oportunidad de...
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
¿La roja? Me gusta el azul.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Este azul.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Gracias.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
Perdón.
Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
No, wait.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Una.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Y en base a la partida anterior. Uy. Vamos por la de medio.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
A ver, sorpréndeme. Deleítame.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
No, bebé.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over.
¿Se terminó?
Thank you for playing.
Oh.
Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Sorpréndeme. Deleítame. ¿Ves que elegir otra opción es más buena? Mira el juego como la otra vez.
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
Espero.
What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
¿Podemos salir? Salgamos. Encima la pasamos literalmente de nada este juego, boludo. Juegas a ver si es la misma animación. Bueno, podría fallar. ¿Estará el baño? Che, no sabía que dejamos este juego.
No, it can't be.
Sí, mira, ahí está el baño, boludo. Que crack el baño.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
No.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley.
Muchas gracias.
Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
¿Otro
Preferably
juego?
something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I
Ok.
think this will be just the thing.
Boludo, buena referencia. ¡El Rocket League!
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
¿Y cómo se por ahí?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
¿Y si meto por acá? Ah, no puedo. Ah, había encontrado la manera. Mirá, muy rápido. Soy literalmente un auto. Miau. A ver si tiene las físicas. Media garón para la física, ¿no? Pero va. Ahí va el pipa. Perdón, usted no, capaz no saben cuál es el pipa. Va Messi.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. Hold
No,
on. What are you doing?
me caí.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Perdón. Te juro que fue sin querer encima de eso. ¿Y ahora? ¿Dónde nos metemos? Viste que yo les dije. Cuando no le empezó a dar pelota es más divertido el juego. Como lo contrario. A ver. Me caí. Mira que la que por favor. Uy. Vamos para atrás. No se puede. Vamos para adelante. Y este lugar hay como que muchas puertas. Y cada puerta seguramente sea un destino diferente. Y sí, raro sería que llegue al mismo lugar, ¿no? Dos puertas diferentes. Bueno, esta puerta llega a nada. Magnífico. Esa vimos que tampoco llega a ningún lugar. Estoy escuchando un ruido. Me está dando miedo. Corre flaco. ¿Te imaginas si convertir en un juego de terror de repente? Yo era 4.27. Yo era 4.27. 4.24, 4.25. 4.27 mi habitación. Ah, pero cambió el juego, literalmente. Ah, el sonido que estoy escuchando yo es de la vida real. No sé qué peor si escucharlo en el juego o en la vida real. ¿Qué tengo que hacer acá? ¿Me perdí? Relator, ayúdame, por favor, relator. Te prometo que te hago caso la próxima. Por favor. No, volvamos. Parece que no se puede hacer nada. Cagamos.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
No.
And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Espera, espera tranquilo. Yo quedo me siento, ¿eh? Te vas a cansar un poco. A ver qué pasa ahora. Ah, bueno, ese final no lo conocí.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A ver, ahora vamos a variar un poco más. Vamos a elegir. Vamos a
When
hacerle la
Stanley came
contraria,
to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to
pero
the
en
meeting
alguna
room, and
cuestión vamos a
Stanley
hacerle
knew it
caso.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
A ver.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Vamos a tomar la
And so
izquierda.
he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Pero bajamos. Como que le hacemos caso a medias.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
No nos queda otra. Izquierda.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Ah, me estás boludeando.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Bueno, tómate tu tiempo, no pasa nada. No hay apuro.
Let's see, we went down...
Me
right,
siento.
Left, down,
A ver.
left, right... Yep, okay, yes.
¿Encontraste? A ver.
I've got it now.
¿Dónde?
This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
A mí me va a atropellar un otro. Gira a la izquierda. No puedo. Bueno. La habitación que dije hoy, boludo.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick,
Literalmente.
Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
Tengo el ojo cerrado.
Get back to, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable.
No,
How
claro.
about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
Sí,
And
sí.
this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Listo. Otro final. Llamo 3 finales distintos. No sé
All
si
of
se
his
puede contar como
co-workers
final.
were gone.
Pero...
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
Sí.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A mí me siguió gustando el segundo, boludo. Terminamos en Firewatch, boludo. No sé si miran el canal, pero...
When Stanley... Wait, what?
¿Qué?
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over completely
No,
fresh.
me reiniciaste como el
Everything
orto.
should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on.
No sé.
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Sí, flaco.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
¿Puedo elegir cualquier lado? Este no. Vamos por este. Acá. Y después acá. Y después acá. No. No, vamos con este, a ver. Uf, tantas decisiones. Me pone nervioso. Ay, ahora a la derecha. Vamos a
I'll
ver.
say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Bueno. Sí. A ver ahora.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Para que no me haces abrir la puerta, ¿no? No. Yo creo. ¿Se abrió? No. Y ahora no importa.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Dale. Volamos. Probemos. Toqueteemos.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
En reverso. Ahí. Más retroceder que esto no se puede. Uy. Cagamos.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
No
I
sé.
don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Sí, eso sí.
Do you remember, Stanley?
Sí.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Gracias, gracias, relator.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
Sí, reinicia, por favor. Gracias. ¿Y ahora?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
A ver. Sigue la línea. Yo voy a seguir la línea. ¿Eh? Bueno. Yo sigo la línea.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
Sí.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where
Sí,
I
no,
was
la
going
verdad es
with
que me
that.
hiciste perder.
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Temón. Espero que no tenga copyright. Por favor. Bueno, ya seguí la línea porque estoy dando vueltas en círculos. Está un poco alta la música. Me estoy quedando sordo. La verdad. Bien. Ahora sí, vamos bien, vamos. No puedo. Me perdí. Ah. Bien, casi llegamos. A ver. ¿Eh? Uy, 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 uy. Estoy perdido. No sé ni dónde vengo ni dónde voy.
Wait, cut the music. go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Ok. Es un helecho muy helechoso, ¿no? Muy helecho. Sí. Sigamos. ¿Y la música? Tiki tiki tiki.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Perdón, es que me perdí. Llegó.
Oh, no, not
Otra vez
again,
acá.
Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it.
Ahí en la puerta con el
Restart.
suicidio. No, déjame suicidarme. De vuelta.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
No hizo nada.
We're
No
intelligent
hizo nada.
people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Abrí esta puerta.
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
¿Por dónde? Ah, acá. Vayamos, a ver. Deleítame.
Yes, this is exciting.
Wow.
Just me and Stanley forging a
Qué
new path,
emocionante.
a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Un poticlub. A ver. Yo lo dije, Yo lo pedí. Haceme caso, por favor, te lo ruego. A ver.
Oh, no.
No,
not you
no,
again.
no, no, no.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Te juro que no le queda hacer caso, pero es el único camino que hay. Mirá. Voy a intentar de no pisarlo. Allá. ¿Desapareció? Bien. Good job.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Bien.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
Sí, tomate tu
Just
tiempo.
walk in circles for a minute.
Ok.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which
Sí.
means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Gracias. Ya me estaba mareando.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to
Pues
forget?
muero.
Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I
No,
won't
pero...
do it.
Bueno, me voy a sentar.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean... did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Ya me estamos en el 8.
Whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Me voy a morir. Ayuda.
So, okay.
A ver,
I guess now
narrador.
we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh. Cagamos.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
¿Y ahora? No sé si estamos en una nueva o si estamos continuando todavía en la anterior.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sí.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, no quiero.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Bien.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've
Vamos a hacer la misma. ¿Ves la línea amarilla,
I'm
boludo?
not your enemy.
Está ahí.
Really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Me tiro de vuelta.
Someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yo, a ver, yo no quiero usar la puerta roja. Vamos a esperar que nos aparezca el cartel lleno de flechas. Sí. Mientras me voy llevando un mate. Mientras camino. Y él habla.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Sí, bueno. La roja.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Sí.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
No. No quiero. No sé si quiero. No me queda otra. Ay, pensé que me había caído.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
¿No hay otro camino? No. Yo para romper la pelota nada más, ¿viste? Todo para llegar en la contra.
Here, yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
No me puedo
I
suicidar.
actually feel happy.
Yo intenté suicidarme, que costa, pero no pude.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Perdón, perdón.
Right. Where were we? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Confía en mí, confía en mí. Yo no muero nunca. I know. No, I don't know.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Ay, Dios. ¿Qué hago? ¿Me suicido? ¿O no me suicido? Si me suicido probablemente se reinicie. No me voy a suicidar. Mentira, no me voy a suicidar. Soy un buen tipo. No me suicido. Perdón. Perdón. Te pido mil disculpas, relator. Me desubiqué. Estuve muy mal, me comporté mal. Vuelvo al lugar donde estaba feliz. Vamos.
Good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
Te lo prometo. Chao.
No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you?
Casi me caigo sin querer. No, bajemos. No paro de dar vueltas. Como un boludo, como un mogul. Estoy medio mogul. Ahí va. Qué buen insulto. Mogul. Estás re mogul. Mogul. Vale. Ahora está rojo.
You are going to stay here, aren't you?
Sí. Temblando todo. Tengo miedo a que se enoje el tipo. Volí. A ver, deleítame. No pienso mirar para arriba, me quedé ciego. No puedo mirar. Rompí el juego. No pasa nada. Ay. Lo rompí. Creo que la única solución en esta vida es el suicidio. No. Mentira, chicos, no se suicida. Bueno, se está juntando, que se va a pasar algo, aunque no quiero mirar porque me quedo ciego. No saben. ¿Se acuerdan que.? No sé si se acordarán, pero. En el video del juego anterior que subí, de Concession To Calorie, boludo. Las canciones tenían copyright, boludo. ¿Ustedes lo pueden creer? Ay, casi me quedo. Unas canciones. Igual no te meten strike, pero sí tienen derecho de autor. Aunque bueno, por ahora el loco no le pintó hacer un reclamo, por suerte. Así que por ahora no saqué la música, porque por lo que vi en YouTube te deja como sacar la música en ese momento. Pero como no me metió reclamo, la voy a dejar. Me dijo de puta, ¿no? Que el juego te meta música con copyright. Es como que antiproducente. Contraproducente, perdón. Antiproducente. Che. La única solución es el suicidio. Me voy a suicidar. Listo. Me voy a suicidar. Suicidio. YouTube. ¿Estás escuchando YouTube? Suicidio. Me voy a suicidar. YouTube, me voy a suicidar. YouTube. ¿Me escuchaste YouTube? Por favor, censúrame el video. Ya. Mentira, no se suicida. En el juego nada más. Porque por lo visto la única solución es tu suicidio. Me voy a convertir en cancerbero.
No!
Estoy vivo.
Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Cada vez voy más lento.
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
El suicidio. Se está hecho mierda ya. Está.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Está hasta las pelotas el relator, ¿viste? Está hasta las bolas llenas, tío. A ver, ahora me está haciendo un matecito.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant
Recuperé la
memory.
felicidad ahora.
What did it look
De golpe.
like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
¿Una pintura? ¿Dónde está la pintura de computadora? ¿Qué hice? No sé cómo toqué, pero se puso una. Bueno, no sé qué hice ahí. No sé cómo subió a uno. Un mapa. Un mapa. Nada que ver.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Exacto.
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, te agradezco.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've
¿Y si
gotten
caigo
off
arriba de
on
un
the wrong
camión?
foot here. I'm not your enemy, but in his eagerness to prove that he is
pensé que
in
se
control
podía.
of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Pensé que sobrevivía. Como antes nos tiramos a un lugar alto y sobrevivimos. Pensé que se podía.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Ok, cambió el diálogo. One input. Cambió de lugar. A ver ahora. Bien. Input received. 2 o J. No sé qué pasa cuando llegamos al máximo. Tengo ganas de suicidar. Para comprobar.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, gracias, te agradezco, maestro. Prefiero el suicidio.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ay,
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy.
es que tiene
really,
pinta
I'm not.
de
I
poder ir
realize that
por abajo,
investing
boludo.
your trust
Tiene
in
una línea
someone else
amarilla.
can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look,
Perdón.
let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No quiero.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, te agradezco.
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Bueno.
Stanley walked... Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Bien. Ahora creo que me voy a tratar de... Me voy a tirar por las escaleras de vuelta,
What do we want?
pero
What are we
no me voy
looking
a terminar de
for?
tirar del todo.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful.
Muy
Isn't
hermoso.
it? If no, wait. Where are you going?
Me voy.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Lo siento.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Lo pensé bien.
No! Oh, thank God. You know. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Me tiré de vuelta.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
Está re desganado.
Situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it.
Voy a
I
volar, voy a
don't know
volar.
anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too... Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
Me burlé un poco de ti. La verdad, he de admitirlo. A ver, vamos a quedarnos acá a ver
I
qué
wanted
pasa
us
ahí.
to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
Sí, te juro, yo me voy a quedar acá. No me voy a mover. No me voy a suicidar. Te lo prometo. Voy a dar vueltas acá. Esperando a que pase algo. Porque la última vez que me quedé acá no pasó literalmente nada. A ver si pasa ahí. Porque solamente te incita al suicidio esto. No pasa nada. Bueno, ya me acostumbré a ver esto. Ya no me quedo ciego cuando lo veo. Aunque me parezca un culo. Pero bueno. Aunque sea, las imágenes son distintas ya. A mí me quedo ciego si miro eso. Es una locura. Pero bueno, de acá no me muevo. Se los prometo. Acá hasta que se cierre el juego. Hasta que me muera. No. Che, ¿qué les parece si hacemos este video más largo? Porque me está entreteniendo bastante el juego. Me parece muy divertido. Al menos yo me lo estoy gozando. Así que en vez de una hora, que es lo que llevamos ahora, capaz que lo hago de una hora y media, tal vez. Sí, ¿no? Una hora y media, casi una hora y media. Porque ya si los completamos juego en un video, ya nos agarramos otro video. Y ya comienzo a subir otro juego. Pero bueno. Mira, parece que se va a completar el agujero. El agujero. El coso este. A ver. Damos vuelta. Fium. Uy. Fium. 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 Vamos que se completa. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. A mí me la clavé. ¿Y ahora? Esto. Dale, juego, por favor. Sí. Estoy harto de ver estas luces. Por favor, te lo ruego. No quiero tomar la otra vía. Quiero otra cosa para mí. Te di la oportunidad de que me sorprendieras. Pero por lo visto no es así. Oh, I don't know. I nothing. I nothing. I am is nothing. Me quiero quedar en esta habitación. Pero no me dejas otra vía que esta. Decía voy a 2 por hora. Es una locura. Pim, 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 pam. Pasito tras pasito. No sé si se puede hacer otra cosa en ese lugar. Yo no lo vi. Así que ante la duda, reiniciamos. ¿Y cómo se reinicia este juego? Pues por la vía alta. De alta a abajo. Jugar al ascensor pero sin ascensor.
Is it over?
Sí, se terminó.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Pobre. Es muy bueno el juego, boludo, es muy divertido. Volamos.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Apagar las compus. No está la compu. No. No. No está la compu. Para sumar ese barrita que no sé qué hacía. Pero sumaba.
When
Derecha.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sí, solo mirarlo.
It was okay.
Bien. Ahí hay que corroborarlo, capaz que me
But
tira una
eager to
botellita.
get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, te la dejo, maestro.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
¿No puedo saltar? No. ¿Y si hago así? Que se vaya en mí.
Look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it.
¿Vos decís? Me está incitando como suicide.
I'm sure you'll survive the jump. Don't tell me you're scared. That's not the Stanley I know. Do it! Do it! Do it!
Salta,
Do
salta.
it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
¿Salto? Uf. No sé si quiero saltar. ¿Y si abro la puerta? ¿Y si vuelvo? No, voy a tener que suicidarme. ¿Está bien? Me obligaron.
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Yo sabía, me estaba mintiendo. De vuelta. ¿Cambió esto?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
Estaba bien. Ya cerró el diálogo.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
A ver.
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it.
No. No, me caí.
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How
No.
clumsy of me.
Les juro que no me quería tirar. Me caí solo sin querer. Va de
All his
vuelta.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A ver. No, ya no está. Capaz que era todo de un mismo final, pero
When Stanley
lo que
came to
pasó,
a set
pasó
of
entre
2
tú y
open
yo.
doors, this was not the correct way to the
Te
meeting
voy a
room,
quitar.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Lo que
Perhaps he wanted to
pasó,
stop by the employee
pasó.
lounge first, just to
Entre
admire it.
tú y yo.
It was okay.
Estaba bien.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, gracias, maestro.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Bien,
Look,
vamos para
Stanley,
acá.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I
Estás muy por
realize that
ahí.
investing your
Ay,
trust
casi
in
me caigo.
someone else can be difficult, but the
Oye, con el
fact
clic
is
derecho
that
te
the
mueves.
story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Ok.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
¿Y si volvemos? Y por ahí no me puedo tirar, así que no me queda otra. Entremos por la puerta. De vuelta. Ah, no, por esto no entramos nunca. No sé, muy apetecible esta puerta en negro, pero... Uy.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
No, no quiero. Lo voy a desenchufar.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible?
No sé.
None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I
Claro.
can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
A ver, mostrame el videito.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Coli bolas.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
8
Do
decisiones
you
por
make
día.
more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
A ver. Refuerce. Uy.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
No sé si quiero ir. Pero bueno, voy. Y sigo yendo. Ah, estamos de vuelta. Y no me deja suicidar. Y las vallas son más altas.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Rayos. ¿Y esta puerta? Vale. ¿Y ahora? Por aquí. Prosigamos.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Ok, si vos lo decís, crack.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Ok, lo tengo.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that?
Perdón.
Quickly, hurry back
Intuición.
in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Abrime la manija. Vamos de vuelta. No puedo. Yo soy hacia izquierda. Bien. ¿Me felicitas ahora?
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about,
Perdón.
my story, you've destroyed my work.
Perdón.
Why? For what? What did you get out of that?
Fue
What did you
instinto.
think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Ah. Me está apagando el juego. Ayuda. No me digas que me cerró el juego de verdad. ¿Te imaginas?
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That
Perdón.
thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make...
Perdón. ¿Y
Just
ahora?
behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
A ver, si me pongo de espalda, la izquierda es esta. Es verdad.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Muy bien.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sí, ahí la cruzó. No me deja. Pareció ir a la izquierda.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Perdón.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Le voy a hacer esto 2 veces más y si no se puede, bueno.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
No, te repito que no.
Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Una vez más,
That
una vez
means
más.
choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
Una vez
I'm quite
más.
sure you'll be up to the
Una vez
task.
más.
Just follow my lead
Una
and
vez
you'll be
más.
fine. All
Una
right.
vez más.
When
Una vez
Stanley
más.
came to a set of 2
Una vez
open
más.
doors, he
Una vez
entered
más.
the door on his left.
Una vez más. 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 No. Vuelvo.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Ah,
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
ok. Voy a tener en
When
cuenta.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
La de la izquierda. Ahora sí. Estamos bien.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Así que ahora bajamos, porque antes habíamos subido, no sé si se acuerdan.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Me bloqueó la subida. La bajada, digo. Ahí tampoco ya me deja entrar ahí, mira. Va cambiando. Ah, y eso también es distinto.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
115. One what fight. 115. Ah.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115.
Ah, perdón.
He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Tiburón nocturno 115. ¿No?
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
No sé cómo se pronuncia. Tiburón nocturno.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you
Perdón.
know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single
No sé
thing, for
inglés,
your
perdón.
respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way?
Lo intenté,
Speak. Say
pero no me
something to me.
dejaste.
Explain yourself, you coward.
Yo intenté cruzar. Ah, ¿qué pasó?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Stanley. Por la derecha, Stanley.
Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
Sí.
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the
Bueno, mientras el loco habla,
It's all right.
vamos a ir dejando el episodio por acá. Llevamos 1 hora y 26, casi 27.
As much time as you need.
Así que espero que le haya gustado este juego. Mirá, Valve dice arriba. Lo siento, Leroy. Ok. Como decía, voy a ir dejando el juego por acá.
All of his co-workers
Espero que le haya
were gone.
gustado.
What did it mean?
Lo decía con re
Stanley
pocas
decided
ganas.
to go to the meeting
No,
room.
pero posta.
Perhaps he had simply
Voy
missed
dejando
the
por
moment.
acá, a no ser que haya un final totalmente inesperado que por la duda voy a avanzar. Pero, como decía, OJ, capaz que no lo voy dejando por acá. Yo vi ese cartel y leo nuevo contenido.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
A ver. Voy a hacer un esfuerzo. Un ratito más. A ver. ¿Qué hay de new content? ¿Y esto? New content. Esto será por la versión
Hello, and
Deluxe.
thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Sí.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Ok.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
La verdad es que deleitoso.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Sí, yo lo estaba por terminar el video,
So
pero
far, it's an elevator.
bueno,
Nothing
si no
special
queda
yet, but
otra.
I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
A ver, aventura fascinante. No, no
Is it
funciona.
open? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Or, oh, there we go. All right, finally,
Ah,
at
yeah.
long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Este es el momento en que me arrepiento de haberme movido hacia adelante.
I have to say,
Yo estaba por
initial
cortar.
impressions of
Y ahora estoy
Stanley
obligado a
Parable
jugar.
Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content,
Dame
Stanley.
contenido, dame contenido. Por favor. Espero que sea corto el contenido. No puedo extender más el video.
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle.
¿Puedo saltar ahora? Mira. New content. Uno suelto se cansa. Vamos a dejar el 1. Porque sí, porque puedo. Vamos.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Voy a saltar una vez más. Me intriga. Ah, y yo no puedo saltar. No. Qué buen contenido. Saltar 33 veces. A ver.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
Poco
It's just
positivas.
elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more.
¿Hay
Very
más?
good. Yes.
Ok.
I knew there had to be something else.
¿Qué más
Let's see
hay?
it.
Deleitame.
I'm ready for whatever it is.
Gracias por
That's it?
jugar al nuevo
Oh,
contenido.
you've got to be
Nah.
kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault,
Sí, es tu
Stanley.
culpa.
I built up
Vos
too
me
much
liaste.
anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you
Perfecto.
say, friend?
Yes. Yes. I do. Epa. Bueno, pero esto lo veremos en el capítulo siguiente, muchachos. Seguiría, pero ya es un capítulo de 1 hora y media, 1 hora y 32. Y yo ya me tengo que ir. Comencé a las 10 este capítulo, ¿se acuerdan? 10:30. Son las 12. Ya me tengo que ir. Así que bueno, me tengo que ir a hacer el Murphy. Así que si les gustó este video y quieren ver el contenido nuevo, que no es tan nuevo porque salió en 2022, pero bueno, si quieren ver esta parte de la historia, dejen su like o me gusta para traducirlo al español. Algún comentario, algún consejito. Y ya sé si quieren suscribir, sería un lujo. Así que si quieren la parte 2, rompan ese botón de like. El objetivo es llegar a 0 likes. Tremendo objetivo, 0 likes. Pero bueno, fuera de joda, espero que les haya gustado el video. Y nos veremos en el próximo. Chau, chau.